I had 30 miles per hour on this $1,300 bike.
33 miles an hour. What the crap?
Off-road, I hit 30 miles per hour coming down the canyon.
30 miles an hour coming down the road. Holy crap, this is just beautiful.
And I also dodged some wild turkeys.
Oh, nice.
This is the CREST from Samebike. And when I first opened it up, I did not think I was gonna like it. That shortly changed when I turned it on, hit the throttle, and went down the road.
What the crap? Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap.
This bike actually kicks butt. Like, truly kicks butt. It's rare to find a 1,000-watt motor on a bike that costs $1,300, but you have one here. And before I took it off to do a speed test, I went into the advanced settings, found level 8, and cranked that speed all the way up. You're gonna wanna do that.
The throttle matches the pedal assist level, so I'm just gonna use the throttle. I'm on mode 1 right now. Let's see how fast I can go. 1 is 9. Good boost in power there. 2 is 16. 3 is 22. 4 is 28. Holy crap, 5 is 31. 32. 33 miles an hour. What the crap? 33 miles an hour for a $1,300 bike. That is impressive. That was slightly downhill, so now coming back up. 29, there's 30. 32, holding at 32. Usually more affordable bikes, you can go fast with a slight downhill or straight flat, but then any type of incline, it kills the speed, and that is not the case with this. 33 going down, 32 coming up.
For a full-size fat bike, the torque is really not that powerful. You're not gonna skid the tires as you punch the throttle. It's pretty slow off the line, but then it ramps up and the power just keeps on going.
All right, let's see how fast I can get within one block. Block's just right down there. Here we go. And power hits right away. There's 7, 8, 9. That's too fast. 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30 miles an hour in one block. Not the fastest acceleration, but once it gets going, it really gets going. Acceleration power for both the throttle and pedaling is pretty identical. I'm on the first gear on pedal assist level 5, and yeah, it's same amount of power.
More affordable bikes like this one, I don't really expect a very long range. To even get 20 miles, you really have to average about 15 miles per hour. It's got a 48-volt battery, which is the same as most fat bikes. Most $1,500 are anywhere from 15 to 18 amp hours. And here you have a $1,300 bike that has 20 amp hours. Once I charge it up, which takes about 6 hours, I went on a range test.
Pedal assist level 5. Let's see how far this can go. Stopped at my house to drop off some things and get a drink, and I noticed that the battery level went to full battery once the bike sat for a few minutes. When I pulled up, it was down to 2 bars. In order to get an accurate read, you gotta let the bike sit for about a minute or 2.
Just got back. Bike's still showing 2 battery bars. My average speed was around 25 miles per hour. I got over 20 miles and I had over 1,500 feet of elevation gain. So that is fantastic for what you're paying for. I was not expecting to hit 20 going that fast. I'm not expecting a lot on hill climbing because the torque off the line was pretty slow. And I know that you need a lot of torque to go fast up a hill. So I was pretty hesitant taking it up this hill, but I did anyway.
This is close to a 20% grade. Just gonna use the throttle. Here we go. I will be very, very impressed if it can make it up. So yeah, I gotta help it out. Bike is still doing most of the work. I'm just pedaling a little bit. Crawling to the top at 2 miles an hour. Bike's doing about 90%, just giving a little bit. And over the top, if you're gonna tackle a hill that size, get momentum.
It's got hydraulic brakes. Right side controls the rear, left side the front. It's got motor cutoff. They're also linked to the tail lights. Here's how well they work.
Let's test out the brakes. There's a 35. Here we go. Pull that right one hard at the end. That's where I hit him. That's where the bike stopped from going 36 miles an hour. Let's pace it out. 65 feet to stop.
The very first thing that I noticed after I took it out of the box was that the turning was a little bit weird.
I wouldn't say handling is locked in. When I'm turning, it kind of pulls back the other way.
The good news is that I eventually got used to how it handled, and by the end of my ride, it was much better. I liked how solid and quiet it was.
For a more affordable full-size fat bike, it sounds really good. Motor's actually pretty quiet.
Going 40 miles per hour, it feels pretty good.
Man, this coasts really well. I just hit 38 miles an hour, and I've got turkeys. Oh, shnikes. I thought I was gonna hit that turkey. Oh, wow.
The handlebar length was nice and wide.
And that gives you a pretty wide stance. If you want the handlebars up more, you can raise the stem. Stability, oh no. Yeah, don't let go of the handlebars. That front wheel starts to wobble.
When there's only one point of contact between the rear and the front wheel, that front wheel tends to vibrate a little bit if you let go of the handlebars. It's something I see a lot, so I'm not super concerned with it. Now on the handlebars, all of the gear is actually pretty high end, considering that this is a $1,300 bike.
Actually has a lot of things that you wouldn't see on bikes in this price range. Nicer grips, hydraulic brakes with nice levers, 8-speed trigger style shifter, which is fast and reactive. I like the look of the thumb throttle and it feels nice. And then the screen is just fantastic. Just looks all techy and high end.
The suspension was like good and bad. There's a ton of travel.
Oh yeah. Oh dang. Popped me off the seat. That suspension has got so much travel.
But that rear suspension is just loud.
Jeez.
Because the suspension was so loud, I wasn't gonna take this off-road, but when I got to the end of the paved trail, I changed my mind.
Well, for crap's sakes, let's just take it off-road and see what happens. Man, if it wasn't for that banging in the rear, this would be pretty awesome. Suspension in the front is just smooth, not bottoming out. In the rear, you got a lot of travel as well. But as it's working, it just bangs around. Oh, heck yeah. I did not think that I'd be liking this off-road. This is actually pretty cushy. People can hear me coming from miles away, 30 miles an hour coming down the road. Holy crap, this is just beautiful. These guys sold their soul to Satan to be able to make a bike that rides and feels like that for so cheap. Holy crap. I've lowered my gears down to 1, and I want to know how many times I have to pedal for the power to kick in. Here we go. There is 3/4 revolution and the power hits. That's nice. Gonna raise my gears to 8. Bike's topped out. I'm gonna stop pedaling. Power cuts off about a half of a second. I'm gonna slow down to 15. Here we go, and start to pedal again. There's 1. 3/4 revolution. Any bike that's less than a revolution for the power to come on is good in my book. Now switching over to the throttle, I'm holding it down, topping the bike out. If I release, cuts off right away. Slow down to 15, and here we go. It's about a half a second delay before the power comes in.
I've talked a lot about the price, and for good reason, because I don't expect a whole ton with a bike that costs $1,300. But that's not the case with this bike. Not trying to sell you on it. I'm just very impressed that they made such a high quality bike with a pretty affordable price tag. Now the acceleration isn't the fastest, and the rear suspension does make noise, but other than those two things, that is a good bike. If you want to check it out, I got the link below. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and take care.